Woodards. I'm your host for this evening, Craig Woodard Sr., and I'm going to have a special guest in just a little bit. His name is Malcolm Pulliam, my buddy from Erie, Pennsylvania, will be joining me in just a few minutes. We're going to discuss what went on at the county council meeting this past week. Some topics there that just really kind of surprising as far as the outcome. There's a lot of fireworks that went on. We're going to talk about that. Malcolm will fill us in. He will have the floor. But a lot to get to tonight. Not going to be a very long show, but we got a lot of things to pack in here. I'll start with this. First of all, happy Valentine's Day to everyone out there, guys, girls, men, women, everybody, kids. Happy Valentine's Day. I hope you guys had a wonderful weekend. This weekend, and I want to start from backwards here. I'm going to go backwards because of the complexity of this weekend. This weekend reminds me of a certain person that lost his life this weekend, 14 years ago. Every single time since this occurred, I keep thinking about this young man because he was killed on the Saturday night. It was the night of the dunk competition. And the young man I'm referring to is Trayvon Martin. If you all remember, 14 years ago, 2012, NBA All-Star Weekend, Trayvon Martin was killed by George Zimmerman. Just to kind of recap the story, because to be honest with you, and Malcolm can touch base with this when he comes on in a little bit, this was the beginning of my activism. To be honest, this was before Craig Jr. was born, and my wife and Dante, my oldest son, who turned 26 this past on the 11th. We drove out to Sanford. Sanford's on the other side of the east side of Orlando, so we were about an hour and 20 minutes away, hour and a half, and we drove over to Sanford. We happened to be out there on the last day of the verdict, and just remembering the sights and the sounds of that day, of everything, of seeing the divide in the country, seeing the whole story play out nationwide, seeing what happened, seeing both mothers state, "That's my son's voice" on recording. You know, um, what a tragic day, and just looking around, and you got such a divide, and everything was blocked off by bike racks, um, and it was a tough day to see. And then when the verdict came down, from someone who was neighborhood watch and was told by the 911 operator, "Are you following him? Yeah, okay, we don't need you to do that." And then he continued to follow him, um, posing a threat to Trayvon. I mean, Trayvon has to protect himself, and unfortunately, he lost his life. And Zimmerman was exonerated of all charges. And we went out there to see this in person, and to have uh, my son out there to be able to witness what was going on. And this is after we actually got back from um, going to the 7-Eleven that Trayvon was at. Dante went in there. He wanted to buy some Skittles and Arizona iced tea, just like Trayvon did. He put his hoodie on. He walked in there. He walked his footsteps, and he did so. Um, and then I went in and did the same thing. I wanted to feel what we all saw on that security camera at 7-Eleven. And we walked the same steps and did the same thing. And then we went back to the courthouse and got there right for the verdict. And it was just a mess. I mean, you had all of the news outlets out there. Dante brought he was still holding the iced tea and the Skittles. And, and I posted on our Facebook page a picture that someone took of us. And once they saw him holding the Arizona iced tea and the Skittles and me kind of hovering over him, and we both have this look of disgust on our face. It was a hell of an experience to have. So every time the NBA All-Star Weekend comes about, I always think about Trayvon Martin because that was the weekend that he lost his life. And I looked it up. I think it was February 27th of 2012. So I had to speak about that, of course, because last weekend when I was at the Andrew Joseph's Joseph the Third Foundation, the 2026 gala, they had "Walk a Mile in My Shoes," where they have pictures of all of these individuals that lost their life to law enforcement, and Trayvon Martin's was one of them. And I got to see that there, and man, it just kind of just brought back some memories. So wanted to share that we have some personal experience with being connected with that particular case, going to see the last day of the trial, and it was a mess. Okay, moving on. Big weekend, a lot of stuff going on. The Down Syndrome Association of Tampa Bay had a lot of stuff going on. Busy weekend. We had art class today, 321 art class. Both classes, the one in Hillsborough County in Brandon was held today at 2 o'clock. The one in Pinellas Park Pinellas County rather, in St. Pete was held today at 2 o'clock as well. It was crazy. I got some pictures that after the podcast, I'll go ahead and post for the St. Pete class, and they had a blast. I guess they had about 5 students there. So they had a lot of fun making some projects and that centered around Valentine's Day. And Miss Mercedes had a nice painting project for the kids over here in the Hillsborough County. So that was a lot of fun, and she had some donuts for them. Right after that, our dance instructor, Sarah Battaglia, who also runs Dancing for a Difference, she partnered with us and put on a Valentine's Day party today from 5 to 6:30 at her studios. I think she's still wrapping up over there right now. And so she had a nice little crew over there. They did a few arts and crafts for the party side, and then she turned her studio into a dance floor. And the lights, the strobe lights, the music was going. They were dancing and everything, and it was incredible. So it was really, really good to see. So nice stuff going on for this weekend for the Down Syndrome Association of Tampa Bay. And we'll talk about what's coming up next for us on World Down Syndrome Day in just a little bit. Okay, what I want to do, I want to bring in Malcolm Pulliam here. Let me bring him on. Let's see. There's Malcolm right here. Here we go. We're going to have a nice show. Malcolm, can you hear me pretty good?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Absolutely, man. Thanks for joining me. I know you're busy right now, but giving me a little bit of your time was crucial for me to get this story across to people, and I wanted to give you the platform to be able to talk about a couple of things. How you felt. I kind of prefaced a little bit about what we were going to discuss, and this past week we had the Erie County Council meeting, and it was centered around ICE coming to Erie County. And so a lot of people went down there to see. I lost your video, Malcolm. A lot of people went down there to see what people were going to say about ICE, what people were going to do about ICE. There we go. It came back.
Can you hear me,
And
bro?
yep, I got you. I got you. I got you. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? All right, we lost Malcolm. He's going to log back in just a second here. But a lot of people went down. There he is. A lot of people went down to um, the county council meeting. There we go, bud. I see you. And they wanted to discuss their displeasure of ICE coming to Erie County. And Malcolm, you were telling me that you went down to the county council meeting to kind of just watch and listen about what was going on with ICE, but um, what ended up happening? Like, what did you actually see that? And you had no intentions of actually speaking that day. What did you see, and what moved you to take the microphone?
So when I got there, we usually get to county council meetings about 10 to 6, and when I got there at 10 to 6, I was walking in, and I when I tell you I seen a lot of people walking towards the chambers, in my head I was like, this is interesting. It's a lot of people. Let me get down here and see what's going on. So
Right.
I tell you, when I turned that corner and I seen all those people in that room,
Yeah.
and again, you said it, I was not going to speak. I just was going to listen and, try to learn some stuff.
Yeah.
And when I turned that corner and I seen all those people, in my head, it just clicked like, wait a minute.
Hmm.
This is basically what we've been fighting for is basically the same thing that all these people in this room is in here for. And, they stay in the room only, sitting on the floor.
Yeah.
The situation we going to speak about, 10 to 20 people. Uh, you can sit anywhere you wanted to when we go down here and speak on the concerns that we have within our community. So when I seen that, I still wasn't going to say nothing, but more people started walking in. And it was an African American lady, and she asked me, she
Yeah.
said, "Are you here to speak on ICE?" And I said, "No." And then she asked me why I was here. I said, at first I was coming to listen, but the people that I see here that's going to speak on ICE, I feel like, I got to get something off my chest. And it wasn't to go there to disrespect anybody or any group or our community, but
Hmm.
again, seeing all those people there in our community,
Hmm.
especially we fighting we're fighting for the same thing. So my analogy was basically like a parole agent was like the equivalent of an ICE agent. Where was everybody at then?
Right.
Fair to
Right.
that?
Well, we talk about Marcello Woodard, and even though Kevin Seelinger is in jail, the fight continues. Like we're not stopping, we're not shutting up. We're still advocating, and we still have a lot of activism to do, and so we want to stay busy, and we want to let people know that change has to come, and that is the next part while we are awaiting trial. So when you go down here and you're kind of listening because it piqued your interest, because these people are fighting for the same thing that were fighting for 169 days until Kevin Seelinger was finally charged and arrested. And a lot of those people that were in that room weren't in that room for 169 days when we were down there when Kevin Seelinger shot and killed Marcello Woodard. Like it actually happened in the community, and these people are down there supporting, not wanting ICE to come because they don't want things to happen when a law enforcement officer already shot and killed one of our own people. So I know that that's the thing that moved you, man, and I want to give you kudos, you and Deontay, for going up and speaking the truth, man. But once you start looking around and stuff, what kind of reaction did you start getting from people?
You know what? Honestly, when I first started speaking, you heard claps and you could see some of the faces, but again, I addressed everybody as my friends because again, this we're all from the same community.
Right.
The goal was not to go there to disrespect anybody or be disrespected. But the more we got into speaking, it was a couple people that was not with what we were saying, and that's okay.
Yeah.
I'm not here to be, you know, we here for one thing. We want justice for Marcello. And
Right.
all I was trying to do is get the point across. Like, imagine if we had this support all throughout, everybody screaming justice for Cello.
Right.
Um, this is a community thing. And again, I'm sitting here um, speaking on an ICE agent. They're combating what happened in Minnesota to, you know, Erie, Pennsylvania. And
Right.
at the time we're in right now, I understand the ICE situation, but at the same time, what happened in Minnesota did not happen in Erie.
Right.
We had a situation that happened in Erie, and you know, it's a lot of people that don't want to speak on it. And my thing is, ICE is coming here whether you like it or not.
That's right. That's right.
Our incident that happened in the summertime happened, and it's a lot of us that's been screaming. Where's our community at to come support this? So just to see all those faces in that room, um, supporting a cause and not supporting a cause that we're all fighting for, when I think this should be a whole community effort. Because again, don't get me wrong, it was a lot of people in that room also that we have seen with us fighting for us. But again, I'm talking about when I turned that corner, people were sitting on the floor. The all three news stations was there.
Yeah.
People was lined up against the wall. Um, People was out in the hallway because they couldn't get in. It was kind of when the first three people spoke, that's when I knew. I'm like, yo, I
Yeah.
gotta say something. So
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
made my way to the entrance. Deontay was with me,
Yeah.
and I said, bro, I'm going first.
Yep.
I didn't know what he was gonna say. He didn't know what I was gonna say.
Yeah.
And some people like it, some people don't, but it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Ain't
Facts.
nothing we can do about it.
Yeah.
We can
Facts are
put,
facts. Yep. And I thought that, like I said, I got to give a lot of respect to both of you because, um, and I want to make it clear, we had some allies that were there that have rode with us for quite some time, and we appreciate all of those folks for the 169 days that they did roll with us. And the 58 days that they've been rolling with us since Sealinger has been locked up, and we hope that they continue to roll with us. But there are some people there that were there for just strictly ice, and we have that same thing that's going on in our community that went on in our community, and someone lost his life, Marcello Woodard, and I thought that it meant that it was supposed to be stated your displeasure, and you went up there and you said some things. Deontay went up there, and I have never seen Deontay explode like that in public, to the point where the sheriff had to remove him. But speaking as black men, how proud are you for you to be doing your job and speaking the truth to people?
I mean, look, what people didn't see
Hmm.
at that meeting is as I was after I did my speech or whatever, I went in the hallway.
Right.
Deontay is up doing his thing. I can hear him.
Hmm.
But what people don't see is a white man walking out of the courtroom. I'm watching him, but I'm
Yeah.
not paying attention to him. And he walks dead up to me and he gets in my face and he said, "Excuse my language, Facebook," but he was like, "Fuck you," and I was like, "Fuck you,"
Mm.
and we can take this outside. So as Deontay is uh, doing his thing, you can see the sheriffs running down the hall, and me and this guy's arguing, and people is getting between us, and then I hear Deontay doing his thing, and next thing you know, the guy who is arguing with me, he walks down the hallway. I start walking down the hallway, but I had to catch myself because
Mm-hmm.
again, this whole situation is not about me. I will never make this about me, and I will not let nobody take me off my square about what we fighting for. So
Mm-hmm.
I had to get my head right. So I go back. But now, I hear Deontay like, "Don't touch me. The sheriffs can come get me." So
Yeah.
the sheriffs is coming.
Yep. Yep.
I'm in the
Yep.
hallway like everything good, but D walked out and cooler heads prevailed. But if this was something different, and I feel for me as a black man,
Mm-hmm.
a lot of people in that room and outside of that room that was watching us,
Yeah.
they took this the wrong way.
Yeah.
Period. Point blank. They took this the wrong way. Um, we're unapologetic. I will never apologize for something that I believe in. Um, they took our words the wrong way and tried to twist them. And again, all we're doing is saying, where were these people at in this courtroom when we was coming down here and there was only 10 to 20 people in here?
Right.
Nothing more, nothing less. Again, um, I consider the probation officer the equivalent of an ICE agent.
Right.
And that probation officer actually killed somebody.
Absolutely.
ICE
Absolutely.
hasn't. ICE hasn't. They might be arresting people up here and doing all of that, but that's what's going on with that situation. If they are doing that here, it's
Mm-hmm.
wrong. But again, they haven't killed anybody, and I just thought it should have been the same amount, if not more, support for what we fighting for.
Right.
And again, not going against what's going on with ICE because I believe that is wrong.
Right.
But we are fighting another battle here.
Let me ask you this too. You know, it just popped in my mind. We're there for the same reasons, and that's to protect the community. Regardless of what nationality anybody is, we are there to protect the community against law enforcement that are doing things unlawfully, right? And so, if that's the case, why do you think that this guy that approached you afterwards had a problem with what you were saying if we're there for the same reason?
You know what? I thought about that, and I
Yeah.
still can't answer that question. Um, it's water under the bridge,
Yeah.
but again, like I said, it was an eye opener because sometimes you got to be awakened to what's going on around your surroundings, and you know,
Yeah.
it's that's just something that was another tool put in the tool belt of we got to pay attention. Everybody don't like what we doing, regardless if it's about ICE or Marcello.
Right. 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 Um, I know you're busy, Malcolm. I'm gonna let you go, but I want to give you just the opportunity for any parting words, any other things that you took away from the county council meeting, and anything you'd like to say to the community that's listening right now.
I just think it's imperative that we keep going to county council meetings and city council meetings and voicing your concerns. Your concerns don't have to be a Marcello concern. It could
Right.
be something going on in a community that's totally different. But I just think we need to continue showing up again, especially with county council because we don't have any African American representatives on those seats. So
Right.
us as African Americans, we need to go there and we need to police them and make sure that they're doing the right thing. You know, we
Yeah.
haven't heard anything about the body cams or
Hmm.
the body cams being presented to the probation officer. So that's something that we need to be speaking about. You
Yeah.
know this that this that money has been passed for that budget for them to actually get body cams. But I heard that there's a holdup with that. So that needs to be discussed and not just swept under the rug where nobody is speaking about it.
Yeah.
Again, we don't have any representation on the county level.
Yep.
We do on a city level with, Mo and Brother Dre, but they can only do so much. It's up to our community to go down here and start getting these changes together. And I just think people need to continue praying for the family, his children, his mom and dad, and everybody else associated with this. This is, like you said, this is a marathon.
Yep. Not a
Um,
sprint.
I believe there's something coming up Tuesday.
Thursday.
Um,
Yeah. The Raymond,
I
right?
know something this week.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, People need to understand that the situation is not going away. Um, Kevin Sellinger has a group of people that support him, and we need to continue to support him. Marcello and his family.
Right.
Like Kevin has a lot of people and a lot of resources behind him.
Right.
Even though he is sitting in jail right now,
Hmm.
that don't mean they ain't behind them scenes making stuff shake for him. So we need to
Right.
continue making sure that everything stays in the favor of Marcello. Again, we're asking for change around here in our community, and that's what I'm shooting for, bro.
Yeah. Hey, man, on behalf of the entire community, not just the black community, the entire community, um, thank you for what you have been doing. You've led the charge with all of us, our group, and putting us together, and keeping us fighting. And the move that you decided to make this past week at Erie County Council and letting the truth be known as far as uh, you know what the real is. I commend you, man. I really do. Keep fighting. I will continue to allow you to come on this platform and say whatever it is that you need to. But I really appreciate you. I just wanted to tell you that publicly. Okay.
Hey, bro, at the end of the day, right is right and wrong is wrong. No matter ICE agents,
Yeah.
right is right, wrong is wrong. Marcello, right is right, wrong is wrong. And we need to continue fighting for what's right. Again, for the people that don't understand it, we understand everybody don't agree with the way we do it, how we do it. It's okay.
Right.
But we're not going to change how we moving about this situation, bro.
Absolutely. I appreciate you, man. I'm gonna let you drop off. I'll finish the show, man. Thanks for joining me tonight. Okay.
Later.
All right, bro. Malcolm Pulliam, everyone. Really appreciate him joining me tonight. Even he's busy, and he said, "Hey, C Wood, I'm gonna take some time to hop on here." With him being front and center at the Erie County Council meeting, it was very important to get his side of the story. And I'm watching it from at home, and I'm looking on the sides and in the wide shot. I'm looking, in the background, and the seats are filled, and you got people sitting on the with their backs on the wall. Like what he's saying is this place was packed. This place was packed. Even he said there was more people there than at the preliminary hearing back on January 21st. And so we're these folks are down here, and rightfully so. It's a good thing that people have shown out, and they're showing out for ICE, and they're letting people know, hey, listen, we don't want this to happen with ICE in Erie County, and we're out here to speak on it. And those people came to do that. All we were saying is that we wish that those same people would have came out and said, hey, listen, we don't want these things to happen again, what happened to Marcello Woodard. And I think this guy that approached Malcolm, he ain't getting it. He didn't get it. He didn't get the message, that they were down there for the same thing. Nobody wants ICE coming in, messing with people and unlawfully shooting people and all kinds of stuff, man. We don't want that to happen. But in the same breath, we don't want parole agents going around flexing their muscles, shooting and killing people either. And this is the first time that this has happened in the state of Pennsylvania. And it's also the first time that it's happened in the country where a parole agent that shot and killed his parolee was actually charged. And he's been in jail for 58 days, and they can slow down the process as far as I'm concerned, to be honest with you. They got the arraignment coming up this Thursday, February 19th. That's where they're going to go over all of his charges in detail, let him know what he is charged with. I'm sure they're going to plead a certain way and ask to, get bonded out. And the way that it seemed like things went on the 21st of January, where all of the charges were bound over for trial, I would assume that that's going to happen as well here this Thursday. So stay tuned to Etcetera with the Woodards. Next Sunday night, we'll have an update on that and the outcome of that particular case. So hey. I commend him and Deontay. If you guys have not seen the video, please go to my Facebook page, Craig Woodard Sr. I did share both of them, and it got heated. There was a lot of claps through the process, but I think they shook the room up, and there were only, I think, 4 or 5 black people, as he said, that were actually in the place. And then when Deontay went up and he did his thing, I just commend both of them for speaking the truth, truth to power, because that's what we need. We need that to continue, and we need other people to come down and do the same thing at these particular meetings. So we'll keep keeping you posted on these meetings and everything else that has been going on. A couple other things I wanted to talk about before I get out of here. I wanted to talk about this last week, and it just totally slipped my mind. Do you guys remember the post that our president, Donald Trump, posted of the Obamas? It was a video of them looking like apes with their face. There's a lot of people out there that always argue with me about, show me proof that Trump is racist. So show me proof. Well, if that don't show you proof that President Trump is racist, where he depicts the first African American president and first African American first lady as apes, something's wrong. Something's wrong. Now, the excuse is a staffer did that. But y'all know, just like I do, that nothing is posted on his social media without his approval. So he approved that. Now, of course, they ended up taking it down because they got the reaction that they were looking for, and the damage has been done already. So it's easy to take it down at that point. But when you ask, did he fire the staffer for doing that? No. No, he didn't. No, he didn't. Not at all. Not at all. Did he apologize to the Obamas for that? Not at all. So you have your answer, and there's my proof for all of those people that say he's not racist. And if you think that is not a racist act, I don't know what more to tell you. I really don't. It was appalling. It was hurtful. It's Black History Month. The time, everything is just all wrong about what occurred. And I felt the need to actually share that with you all, my opinions. Another thing I wanted to touch base with, family member contacted me. I know you guys have all seen, and this is for those in Erie, Pennsylvania. You all have seen the news story about this 5-year-old girl that fell out of a 2-story window. She had a jacket on and no shoes on, and a good Samaritan actually stepped in to help out. But there was a female named Autumn. I'm not going to say her last name, but her name is Autumn. And she went on there and started to share the picture of this little girl who's 5 years old, and you can see her face. Um, and she's saying, we need to help this family. Please send donations, like all kinds of stuff, where she's trying to get the community to band together on this unfortunate situation, to try to raise money. I was notified by the family. They wanted me to use my platform to notify you all that that is a scam. That is a scam. Not one person in the family reached out to this lady named Autumn and asked her to start receiving donations on behalf of this little girl. Nobody did that. Okay. And I spoke with a family member that's very close to the situation, and this is the message that they wanted me to unveil, and I promised that I would. So I had been sharing a number of different stories. Now, the jury is still out on whether or not she actually fell out of that second story window. As you all know, 2 stories is 20 feet. 20 feet down on the ice and cement and no injuries. It just doesn't seem right. This little girl was fine. She did say that she fell out of the window, but she didn't talk to authorities at first. So we really truly don't know what the true story is. I'll just put it like that. However, I'm 100% sure that the lady that was trying to get donations and saying that this family needs X, Y, and Z, they don't. They don't need anything. They don't need this stuff. Don't send it to that lady, because that is a scam, plain and simple. So I wanted to pass that message on. This lady responded back to me on one of the posts that I made, and we went back and forth. And she said that they asked her to do that. Now, the family told me they didn't. So I asked her to show me receipts, show me a text message or an email or some type of post where they asked you to ask the Erie community for donations. And she would not send it to me. However, she made a post on her wall, and I'm going to read it word for word just to let you know who you were dealing with. This lady made a post that said, I love Facebook. This is the only place where you can get paid for somebody else minding somebody else's business. All right. So that tells you right there what her objective was. Her objective was to get money. And I can appreciate everyone that was very concerned and wanted to help, because that's what we're built like in Erie, Pennsylvania. We help out when the community's hurting. We help out, and some people try to take advantage of that. And this lady definitely tried to take advantage of that. And this is coming from the family, and I'm passing the word on. So thank everyone for your concerns, and I'll try to keep you posted on what ends up happening down the line. But the one thing I can say is please say some special prayers for this family, and the girl and the mom and the rest of the kids as well. Okay. What else we got going on? I told you I was going to talk about World Down Syndrome Day. We got World Down Syndrome Day coming up next month on the 21st. March 21st is World Down Syndrome Day every year. It's going to be a fantastic day, and the Down Syndrome Association of Tampa Bay is going to be extremely busy. We're going to be very busy. So, 102.5 The Bone, Drew Garabo Live. My vice president, Drew Garabo, is putting on Down to Bowl 5. This is the 5th year for our largest fundraiser, and we have a couple of weeks to put it together. On the 23rd, registrations will open. I'll be sharing the link where you can go and purchase your lane. You can do singles, doubles, or foursomes. Singles start at $75. Doubles will be $150 for two, and to purchase a lane for a foursome is $300. Remember, last year we raised $30,000 for the cause, and it's gotten better and better every year. And Drew loves this event. I'm so glad that he decided to join our organization and to put this on. His nephew Will was blessed with Down syndrome, and this one is near and dear to his heart. We also lost a little over a year ago Brian P. Kelly, who was the director of sales. Really, really good guy. This was one of the times over the last course of the 4 years, of course, that I would be involved speaking with Brian a lot. You know what I mean? We would put our PayPal together and the tracking of the lanes and the people and the names and everything. And he just he loved this event, and I love the fact that he loved this event and that they're putting it on for us. And I really appreciate it, and I do really I miss Brian a lot. And so last year we gave out the first Brian P. Kelly trophy to the champion who won the actual bowling tournament last year. And I said that I'm going to do this every year. We're going to have a special trophy. And his fiance, Allison Brader, she actually gave it out last year, and hopefully she'll be available to give it out this year as well. I got the trophy here at the house, and it's beautiful. So the winner will get the Brian P. Kelly Championship trophy and take it home with them as well. That again is going to be on March 21st from noon to 3 p.m. down to Bowl 5. We have to move locations. It's still at Pin Chasers, but it's going to be at Pin Chasers on Hillsborough Avenue and Veterans. So make sure you make note of that. February 23rd, not tomorrow, but the following Monday, we will be opening up registration. And also, February 23rd is the 8th anniversary of the Down Syndrome Association of Tampa Bay. 8 years we have been serving this community, and I couldn't be happier. I just really appreciate how we have grown, how our families have grown, and how many people have trusted us in what we have been doing and have been following our mission and are looking at our vision in the same goggles that we look at it at. So there's been a lot of people that's made this nonprofit organization successful, and I thank everybody, including my board of directors, but definitely out to the families and all of the therapists and everyone that has contributed to making this a success. And we're going to have another good fundraising day on World Down Syndrome Day, 321 down to Bowl 5. After down to Bowl 5, from noon to 3 p.m., at 4 p.m., there's going to be a World Down Syndrome Day celebration where we are partnering with friends and we're partnering with Gigi's Playhouse. This is going to be held at the Regent in Riverview. The Regent from 4 to 8 p.m. Please come on out. You're going to have to sign up and purchase tickets. The tickets are very inexpensive. You can look on our Facebook page. All three organizations, Gigi's Playhouse, Friends, as well as Down Syndrome Association of Tampa Bay, and purchase your tickets earlier so we don't sell out too early. But that event is coming up. It's going to be a lot of fun. The kids can get on the dance floor and dance, and we have it, with a DJ there. It's just going to be a fantastic time. Okay. So in wrapping up, I also looking at the notes here. My auntie put on here. She's watching right now. She said, "Thank you so much for the truth about the scam." And like I said, I spoke to the family members, man, and they gave me the okay to go ahead and announce exactly what was going on with that particular story. So we are going to try to keep you posted on the outcome of that. And I appreciate everybody listening in to Etcetera with the Woodards, episode 63. Thank you all very much for watching tonight. For Malcolm Pulliam, Malcolm, thank you for joining us. I'm Craig Woodard Sr. We'll see you next weekend. Take care.